Welcome in, Cowboys Nation, to our first Doc Talk of the season with our doc friend, Dr. Boothby of OSMI. Good afternoon, sir. I see you in the middle of surgery, so we'll definitely
Good
make sure we can
afternoon.
get you.
Yeah, we're got some work going on today. So yeah, in between cases, and really just happy to reconnect with you. And it's been a minute since we've had a chance to chat, so it's
Yes.
always nice to touch base and catch up and talk all things football. So looking forward to it.
Fortunately, Doc, we haven't had a whole lot of severe injuries to start the season, but we did have a scare. We did have a scare. A couple weeks ago, Jake Ferguson, the opening game actually, came down wrong on his knee, and he said, I heard a pop. And a lot of Cowboys
Yep.
Nation got scared a little bit. He ended up missing a game, but good news was he came out and said after a few days he felt fine. He was dealing with a minor grade 1 MCL sprain, and then he was out there playing yesterday and led the Cowboys in receiving yards and reception. So I come to you to ask
Awesome.
you, what is he playing with out there with this MCL sprain? He says a pop.
Sure.
What does that mean? He's talking about grade 1. What does that mean? Can you help us out here, Doc?
Yeah, 100%. This is something that's a pretty common injury in a with a sport that has some violence to it, and twisting, turning, athleticism, acceleration. There's basically four main stabilizing ligaments that surround your knee joint. So there's one on the inside called the medial collateral ligament. That's what we're going to be talking about, the MCL. There's one on the outside called the lateral collateral ligament, or LCL, and then two that cross in the middle. Those are the cruciate ligaments, and those are the bigger deal ones in terms of ACL and PCL. So, those four ligaments basically stabilize the knee joint so that it works back and forth like a hinge rather than sliding forward and backward or twisting kind of medially and laterally. So, with an MCL injury, the good news is by far the majority of MCL injuries heal on their own. There's good blood supply around that area, and a little bit of time and time away from the activity that's aggravating it, and those typically will heal. To answer your question about the grades, so typically we have three grades: grade one, grade two, grade three. It basically is an indication of the how extensive the injury is. And so with a grade one injury, it's something that we can see on an MRI, but it's not something that we necessarily feel. When we go through testing, we're not going to feel a big opening in his knee joint where the ligament has been disrupted. A grade two strain is going to be worse than that. We're going to feel some opening. We're going to feel some instability where those fibers macroscopically have stretched out but aren't necessarily torn in two pieces. And then with grade three injury, they're literally torn in two pieces. And sometimes surgically, we need to go in and repair that, put the ends back together so that they can heal over time and get stability back to the knee. So, again, a grade one strain like this, typically it's, 10 to 14 days. A little bit of time does wonders. And then, he'll have confidence at this point when he twists and turns and cuts that the knee's not going to give out on him, and that there's going to be some stability there.
Is there any risk of re-injuring it that we should be aware of? Because again, he went back out there, only missed one game, and he's a tough
Yeah.
player. He's going to play through things like a lot of these guys are. They're warriors out there, what they put their bodies through. But should we be concerned or worried about potentially re-injuring that ligament?
Yeah. You know, um, I wouldn't say that there was an increased risk of re-injury at this point, compared to say his other knee that wasn't injured. The truth of the matter is MCLs are commonly injured, right? And
Yeah.
so there's a lot of times in a football game where your leg can get in a certain position and it can strain your MCL. So, it's kind of two answers to your questions there. No, I don't think he's at an increased risk at this point towards subsequent injury, but this is something that, it happens a lot. And so
Yeah.
anybody could go out next week and have a similar sort of injury. So, again, I think the team is trying to be. It's early in the season. The team is giving him enough time to rehab. It's really based on pain at this point. As long as he's had an improvement in his pain and he's not guarding, he's not changing how he moves based on how his knee feels, I don't think there's an increased risk of injury at that point.
That's great news, Doc. Seriously. And I know you got to get going here, so we'll let you go. And hopefully the next time we talk, we're not talking about any injuries. I love to see you. I love to talk to
Yeah,
you, but I don't like when something happens to the Cowboys and I got to say, Doc, how long is he going to be out? But appreciate you coming on. And if there's anybody out there that is dealing with anything, let them know where they can come and find you.
Yeah, we're at the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. We've got offices in Fort Worth, as well as in Mansfield and Decatur. You can reach out by phone, 817 529 1900. You can also get us on the internet at www.osmifw.com.
And that'll do it for episode 1 of Doc Talk for the 2024 season. Thank you, Cowboys Nation.
All
Thank you,
right.
Doc.
Take care, guys. We'll see you.